You're the first guy. Usually I don't ever get an answer in a penitentiary. It said, do you not want to fear authority? ? And the next line says, do what is right. And I went, what? It's that simple? Just do what's right and you won't fear authority? How could that be? Because I'd feared authority all my life and I thought it was just something you do. Right? I mean, I was 40 years old when I got saved, and I'd been stealing and doing stuff wrong since I was 8 years old. And so I just thought that you have to fear authority. Everybody fears authority. Well, all of a sudden, I read this in this book, and so then, you know what? I thought, I'll try it. So I started driving the speed limit. I started putting my seatbelt on when I drove. I started stopping at red lights and waiting until they turned green before I went. I never did that. Did you guys? Why would you sit at a red light if there was no cops and nobody's coming? You ain't going to sit there. You got things to do, right? We had to be moving all the time, didn't we? I mean, I know every guy in here was like I was. You were on the go, man. Ain't it? You ain't got time to be sitting at no red light. And so I started stopping at them red lights and waiting until they turned green. And I stopped picking up tips in restaurants. That's something I always did. I mean, if I had $2,000 in my pocket and there was $4 laying on the table, now I got $2,004. That's just the way my mind worked. And I couldn't help it because I was a thief. And I was a rascal, man. I mean, I just did stuff wrong all the time. It didn't matter what it was. And so as I began to realize, you know, I had this place in my life where I had the money and the power and the influence. I had no relationship with my kids. My kids would come over and ask my wife, where's Dad? She'd say, I haven't seen your dad in 3 weeks. I haven't seen your dad in a month. I don't know where your dad is. And I got 4 children, and I didn't have any relationship with any of them. I talked to my son on the way here tonight, driving from, what town are we staying in? Pine Bluff. And I drove up here by myself in the car. Talked to my boy almost all the way up here, one of my sons. Talked to my daughter on the phone yesterday, driving from Kansas City down to Pine Bluff yesterday. I talk to my kids every week now because God's restored my relationship